The online application process for grade 1 and grade 8 pupils has officially opened for the 2021 academic year, and parents only have a month to wrap up the process. As it stands, the Gauteng Education Department announced that it already received 104,000 applications since the system went live this morning. However, the process hasn't been as smooth as parents and guardians would have liked. To share more details on the process and how it's been going so far, we're joined by Gauteng Education spokesperson Steve Mabona. Steve, good evening. It always seems to be off to a bumpy start. What exactly is the problem?
Thank you very much, Cathy, and to all our viewers. Look, it's all about numbers. Remember, parents will then be anxious. Everyone wants to, be the first one in the system. So that's why we see such glitches that we have experienced this morning. But we just want to indicate to parents that it's not the first-come, first-served principle that is going to be utilized. So they need to bear that in mind. Because in the previous years, we were there because of the admission regulations. Remember, you're coming, all the way from your 5-kilometer radius. So now we have changed the regulations. We are more about where do you stay. If you are very close to the school, then you will be prioritized. And so that's why we will be saying to parents, we sincerely apologize for the inconvenience that we have caused them this morning. And indeed, everyone wanted to be in the system. That's why we experienced this. But it only took about 30 minutes. And from there, we saw the improvement. And I'm talking to you now. We have about 140,000 successful applications that we have witnessed in the system. And you can see, because I'm still in the op center, we can see over 1,600 users are still active. It means now parents are still continuing to apply in the system.
Steve, of course, what it leaves is that many parents often feel like because they are part of the problems that exist in the online system, then therefore their children will be prejudiced, and when it comes into the new year, they may find themselves as some of those that haven't been placed.
No, it doesn't, because remember, like as I said, it doesn't matter when you apply. So that's why we are not even punching a message that parents must apply, on time. Remember, previously we would say apply on time because we want, probably parents to be in the system. But we are not saying that. In the current situation that we are in, we even introduced an application to say upload documents in the system. So when we have some of the parents, they have already, uploaded their documents. It's just that our schools then must go and verify and make sure that they verify the documents. But we are saying there's no need to rush into the system. It's just unfortunate that some of our security measures that we have introduced, they didn't work as per what we expected. But understandably so, because the volumes were too huge in the morning. And we managed to resolve them. We understand the parents as well in terms of the addresses. They chose wrong addresses. We have sharing streets in this country. You find that there's a street that is the same as in the Jurion and the Alberton, and so parents mistakenly choosing the wrong addresses. So that's the challenge that we have witnessed, where parents were calling to say, I chose a wrong address. But we said during the submission of those documents at the schools, we should be in a position to rectify that.
Let's talk about the integration of grade R into the schooling system and how exactly that's going to work, at least from the Gauteng side.
You mean coming back from the break?
Sure.
Well, we are directed by the basic Minister of Education. So what we are doing there is they've announced the 6th of July, and we have made our preparations. We are waiting for our learners. All the grades that must come back on the 6th of July, we are ready. As you'll understand that schools have opted to alternatively, make learners to attend something. The school will attend on probably 2 days in a week. Probably the following week they will be attending 3 days. they alternate like that. So we said we'll go with that method, but our grade 7s and 12, those we are not going to make them alternate because we understand that they are moving to the next level of their education. So we are ready, but we will be then guided by the Department of Health when coming to COVID positive cases that we have already recorded. And the closing of schools, we are also guided by them, and when we're supposed to be opening the schools, because we know parents are anxious, and which is a given indeed. I mean, as a parent will always be anxious when you hear about a positive case. But what we are appealing to parents is that if there's a positive case, we know we send our officials, our health officials as well. They will be in a position to guide on what to do. We really discourage parents that will be saying the school must shut down, the principal must shut down the school. The principal must be guided by professionals, and if we need really to shut down the school, we'll do that. Follow all necessary protocols and make sure that our children and the educators are safe.
When it comes to the shutting down of the schools, how much of that is going to affect the coming back of the rest of the grades, especially this idea of rotation? So have you been able to calculate the number of learners who won't be able to be part of those going back simply because their schools have been shut down?
But remember, schools, they shut down for 2 to 3 days, not like before. When we started, the schools were shut down for 14 days. I mean, health professionals came and advised us to say, no, probably if there's a positive case, identify an area where you need to decontaminate, make sure that you trace, and check the contact, and make sure that you advise on what to do. Anyone that would have been affected, then we are in a position to can guide. So as far as we are concerned, we take that guidance and make sure that schools that are cleared, and we make sure that all necessary protocols are followed, and schools then will be cleared, and learners will then be received. I mean, over 1.4 million learners are expected in July on the 5th. So, indeed, we are very much cautious, and that's what we've been saying. I mean, ministry has been saying in many occasions that the priority will then be safety of our learners and educators in our school. That's why we say, don't want parents to come to our schools. We appeal, let's not visit our schools. And even during now, those schools that have been identified to administer admissions, in order to calling off those areas, and those parents that would want to submit documents at our schools, they're going to end at the gate. I mean, they're not going to access the school. So they need to be mindful of the fact that they need to be accessing the school. And that's how we are trying by all means to make sure that our learners and educators are safe.
All right, Steve, let's leave it there for tonight. Steve Mabona speaks on behalf of the Education Department in Gauteng.